All right, David. We got some people in here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Looks like we got 65 watching so far. Uh, Let me see here. I'm adding a few moderators here. Yeah, it doesn't show up here when I put a moderator in. To me, it doesn't show highlight them. Denise, is it? Are you showing yourself there as a moderator? Oh, there it is. It's showing it now. I forgot there's a little bit of a lag time here. All right. I guess I won't say this until we get some more moderators in here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. Be lenient with the moderation. We are expecting a bunch of trolls tonight, so you might have to take care of them. Said it the other night, hate speech, prejudice stuff, and violence. That goes away right away. Other ones kind of give them a warning. If they're obviously trolling, it won't take you long to figure that out. But anyway, so let me get things going here. David, how you doing tonight?
Well, I'm doing good. Obviously, you can see in the background, I'm running down the highway, just coming from an audit.
Yeah, hopefully you stay in a good place for the signal to get in. Almost park update.
I'm in downtown Houston, so the signal should be pretty stable.
Yeah, your audio is a little crooked, but it's all right. We can deal with it. But I think that's more because you're on the Bluetooth than what you sound like when you're at home. That's no big deal. So far, it's fine. I'm going to start this out. There's something you
Okay,
wanted
good
to
deal.
talk about, and I wanted to make sure since this may or may not be a very long uh, live stream. So go ahead. You had a topic you wanted to make sure you brought up, and that was your 50,000, I believe.
Oh yeah. So I had done a contest back at the 50,000 subscriber mark about location to go and hit, and I let everybody vote on it, and they did, and the location was selected, and I've just been waiting for the opportunity to go do it because it's going to involve. I'm sure I'm going to be arrested. I mean, it's a good one. It's a good one, and it is very probable that I will be arrested. Well, I'll be going out for that next week, so everybody should stay tuned because when it happens, you'll know it. And I'm going to make sure everybody knows.
So that'll be sometime next week, huh? I'm looking forward to it. Personally, I'm not going to go back to that part of this country if I can ever help it. And so far, I've been able to avoid it. I spent several years up there in that area, and it was not uh, a happy time, let's say. We got another moderator, Sarah T's in now. They wanted an update on almost, but we really don't have much to say right now. We're going to be back on them. We'll be back visiting them from time to time, and so will OCT. And sometimes it may be them alone, and sometimes it may be us alone, and sometimes it may be together. We'll just kind of see how things go. They're not off the hook. We're not forgetting about them. The first lawsuit's in place, and it there's something else that, and this hasn't been a big deal, but it's been enough of a deal that I want to address this. OCT and NAIR got together to do this. Uh, we are fine without all the hullabaloo of telling everybody that NAIR was part of it. We're fine with it the way it is. We're okay with it. We even got stuff out of it that y'all don't know about, connections with other people that are helpful. We are known in Austin, Texas now, which is the capital where all the politicians are. I know that's a sore subject for everybody, but Nair is planning on going to political when we get big enough, if we get big enough, and I think we will. And that's one reason we're going to probably going to do an LLC. We don't want to be hampered by nonprofit restrictions. I'm not going to ask the permission to do anything from the government. We're going to do what we want to do when we want to do it, and then in the manner we feel like is the proper way to do that. And David, I'm going to let you touch on this because you've got the facts and figures more. Taking these cases to court, not only getting people out of jail, which Nair did, and I'm going to let you go from there, and we'll kind of fill in.
Well, yeah, we did. Joanna, when Joanna got arrested there in Almost Park the last time, and Jim got arrested at Almost Park the last time, Nair posted their bond. A lot of people don't realize that, but Nair covered their bond. CJ's bond was covered by self-defense fund, so we didn't have to deal with his, and that was a good thing because his was the highest out of all of them. But the expenses involved, and we didn't do this because it was Joanna. We did it because it was a good case. It was a viable case. It's something that will prevail in court quickly and easily. And that's important given the cost of lawsuits. I've touched on this before in talking to people. Everybody says, well, just go sue, get your money, Okay, well, first off,
go ahead.
yeah, well, first off, it's expensive. I mean, attorneys don't work for free. And getting one that'll take it on a contingency is difficult. Most of them want money up front. Now, we do have a lawyer that we're developing a relationship with out of Austin that may come to fruition, and, we'll see in time. But, it's not just about the $360 filing fee. There's, depositions run $1,000 a head. Paperwork, they just kill you with costs. And, and for the government, that's a good ploy. They just bury you with costs and hope you go away. Because if you lose, you're going to have to pay their attorney fees. So it's something you got to be careful with. Everybody holler. I've got a couple of good lawsuits. The Louisiana National Guard lawsuit is actually being filed in the next couple of weeks. It will not move forward because I have to clear the Pineville case before it'll move forward. But the lawsuit's getting filed. The FBI lawsuit, I got to check and see if he's already filed that or not. I'm not sure, but the FBI lawsuit is paid for already. It was very expensive, but I've already covered the cost of that. Just to give everybody an example, Philip Turner spent somewhere around $30,000 to get the Turner versus Driver judgment. And I don't know about you guys, but that's a lot of money to me. So it all takes funding. And if we can win a couple of lawsuits, get a couple of lawsuits under our belt, well, then, of course, we have the funding. But until that time, we're pinching pennies and just doing what we can do.
Yeah. How much was it that Turner's to get his fee?
Somewhere in the area of $30,000.
Yeah, that's a shitload of money, people. It's just not that easy. We're somebody in the chat mentioned that Nair is in its infancy, and it is, and we're not accepting new members right now, and we're not. We're trying to get all the monies together to get all the legal stuff, the LLC registered, and get
right. We got to get the LLC and all that done first.
Yeah, and we need to get a lawyer that understands all this so we get everything done right. That's what's really taken so long. We haven't found the lawyer that we like yet that to handle this. We want it done right. So if any problems come up in the future, it's all laid out how things will be handled. Uh, as far as our legal dealings with government agencies and all that, we want it all to be right. We don't want to have to worry about looking back and going, God, we should
Don't
have done
give
that.
them anything to come after us
Yeah, because they will.
for, because they will.
Yeah, and so it's taken a while. And when you've got all volunteers, nobody here gets paid. In fact, we pay in, to pitch
What?
into.
You mean I'm working for free?
Yeah, so am I. Yeah, we're all working.
You mean I'm doing this because I believe in the cause? Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like the.
But don't you know that auditors are all e-beggars? Haven't you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that. And I have never asked for money from me. I've only asked for money for other people, and that's been very few. Uh, I have put. God, I can't. I have no clue how much money I put in. It's been a bunch. Uh, since I started this, and I can't see a time when I'm going to be making a profit. So things are gonna just keep jumping up there and costing, and hopefully one of these days it at least pays for itself. And there gets going.
Everybody that thinks that people are in this for the money, and I know there are some that they're looking for easy lawsuits and all that kind of stuff. I got it. They're in it for the wrong reasons. But the guys and gals that are in this because they believe in the cause and they're actually fighting the good fight. This isn't a for-profit kind of thing. Bond, lawyers, all this stuff takes money, and if you think you're going to make a fortune doing this, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy.
All right, I'm moving the mic up and turning the gain up a little bit. Is that better? Somebody let me know.
Oh, okay. I can hear you fine.
Yeah, they're having. Apparently, my volume is a little low compared to yours.
Okay. Well, and I'll say something else. Somebody made a comment that all these auditors are doing these live streams because of their egos, that they're just out boosting their egos and all that stuff. Okay, guys, so you guys, you don't really know me on a one-to-one basis, but I will tell you that I'm not here to beat my chest and smile for the camera and show off and be an egomaniac. I'm on here tonight. Steve and I got on here tonight to relay information that otherwise it's difficult to get to you. And the live stream is an opportunity to interact with you in ways that otherwise we wouldn't have. And personally, and I'm looking at the camera as I say this, is I hate being in front of the camera. Absolutely hate it. I spend as much time as I could behind the camera, not getting in front of the camera until I absolutely had to. And I still continue to do that. Steve is the master of the live streams, and we utilize this forum, for a reason. I don't know anybody, and honestly, I don't know anybody that's in this, I do know one guy, but other than that one guy up north, I don't know anybody that's in this because of their ego. All the San Antonio guys think like I think. We're here for the right reasons. We're here to affect change. And, anybody that's not, well, their actions and the way they conduct audits and stuff will make that obvious.
Yeah, I just, they're asking me to work with my volume a little bit more, so I just turned it up a little bit. Let's see how that does. Give me some feedback there, moderators. And, let's just lost David's picture. It's back. Anyway.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, you came back. The ones that are in it for the wrong reasons, time will prove. I think it'll show. And I think anybody's in it for the wrong reasons, it'll show after a while. It doesn't always show at first. And so all we can do is just sit back and wait. But any movement, is going to have people in it for the wrong reasons. Some of it are going to be intentionally trying to screw things up. Others are going to just be in it for the wrong reasons for themselves. And I don't do a lot of live stuff. I wish we had something for Bamboozer to replace it, because I don't really like going live on YouTube when I'm out there.
Well, it's looking, for the most part with me, it's looking like Periscope is going to be it.
Yeah, and I'm still working with some of those, and I haven't found one I actually like, but I'm just probably going to end up having to deal with whatever, will work and not actually like it. I'm trying to keep track of the chat, but it's going by pretty quick, and I am not the fastest reader, and I will admit to that. And I don't see how some people read so dang fast, especially out loud and fast, and with emotion, and it's like I just can't do it. I could never. I just can't do it. So. Anyway.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of old guys. What can I tell you?
Well, and I like reading, but I'm slow. Yeah, if
Oh,
I try to
I'm an
read too
old guy.
fast, if I read fast, I don't comprehend a lot of what I
With
just read.
funny hair.
I'm an old guy with gray hair and a bald spot. And sometimes I like to go live just to visit. And when I go live, that's usually what I do. I just go in to visit. But I like to put these little things together like me and you, and like I've done with some of the others. And we've had large groups here, small groups here. And I'm thinking about, it'll probably wait till after we get the money together for Nair to get the legal stuff done. I want to upgrade and put another screen on here so I can keep track of everything a little bit better, because I can't right now. I don't want to interrupt and show you how everything's set up here. I got a pretty nice little setup, but one more screen to make it much easier, and I can switch back and forth and do the things I want to do to make it look a little bit nicer and flow a little bit better. But that costs money, so right now Nair is.
Well, one of the things you've done in the past that I really thought was awesome was you get these auditors that get jammed up, like you did with News Now Colorado after his thing in Colorado Springs, or what was the guy there in Mississippi? Was that Monkey?
Yeah, I had Monkey on, and
yeah. I think it's good that you get those guys on this live stream and give people a chance to talk to them and hear the extended version of what happened, rather than just see the little bit of snippets of video. I've got 2 videos. One of them I put out yesterday from Hudspeth County, which is where Sierra Blanca checkpoint is. It's a long video because I did a tour of the courthouse. This guy came out, offered me a tour of the courthouse, didn't check my gun permit, didn't make me surrender my pistol. They just walked me through the courthouse like I own the place. I was very impressed with that county, because I expected that, given that they have the checkpoint there, they would just be really paranoid, and they weren't. They were awesome. And then I've got another one that's going to come out probably Monday. It's going to be a long one. It's from Tennessee, and Nashville, Tennessee, at the state police headquarters. It's kind of long because it was a protracted encounter. I managed to cut it down to about 30 minutes, but it was actually 3.5 hours of dealing with these fools. So I know people have short attention spans, and I try to keep the videos short, but it's not always possible. But that's the kind of information you get from this live stream that you're not getting from the video itself. Why am I making the video so long? Well, there's a reason for it.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot of times, where, especially with now that all the live streaming to YouTube, they live stream for a long time when there's nothing going on, and I can see with not a real good backup right now them doing that, but it might be best to go back, edit it, get rid of all the fluff, and come back with a shorter video. But sometimes there's so much going on that it just without you have to. There's just so much that you want everybody to see it, and it all kind of plays the part in the whole story. And if you don't make it long enough to include that, then you don't get the whole story. And I'm going to ask if my audio is any better, folks. I turned it up again, and hopefully that's helping. I may have to go play around and do a live stream and play around with the settings. I thought I had them right.
Yeah, I mean you're fine here. You're fine on my end.
Yeah, but on the chat they're saying, well, now they're saying 5x5.
Okay, there you go.
I got it up there a ways. That's almost topped out, but I also don't have the gain turned up real high on the mic because I really don't want all the noise from the aquariums annoying people. So if I turn the gain up too high on this mic, it'll pick up the air conditioner and the aquarium pumps and all that, and that kind of gets annoying afterward. I'd say they're saying good audio.
Is it going to get Sarah? Is it going to get Sandy snoring in the background? Is she napping in the chair?
No, she's not napping in the chair right now. She's out with my grandson running around.
Okay.
And one of my grandsons. All right, they're saying good audio now. I think I'm going to have to move this mic over a little bit and remount it so I can get it up closer without having to lean into it because it's kind of uncomfortable. And then I've got OBS. I turned it up over there, so hopefully that's good. I'll make a note of these settings and play around with that. And supposedly there's a lot more I can do with the setup I've got.
Well, people need to understand, we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. And that's the good thing about NAIR and having all these different auditors on staff is that we all have our strengths and we put them to use. We put our talents to use, and this is your talent. This is your thing. I don't know anybody else, maybe Bunny Boots, that can do this. I certainly can't. I don't have the patience to sit down and work all this out, get it going, and do all that. It's not what I do. My strength is in the field, face to face with tyrants. That's where I'm strong at, and that's my talent. That's my gift.
Well, Black Label doing a pretty good job, and he may even know more of it than I do as far as what can be done and not done here with all this. But I haven't really been into it.
He's good with the live streams in the field. I've not seen him do a video like what you're doing right now, but when he's out in the field, we learned this in Almost Park. He's the king of the live stream out there. He had it going on. I mean, he set up with the batteries and everything. I mean, it was long. It was like 3.5 hours, and he still had battery to spare.
Yeah, and I've got mine now. I just had to buy a different mount. I've got mine with the extra battery and all that, but my service sucks. That's why I couldn't live stream very well. So here's mine.
But then again, and
it's got the extra battery on it and all that. So I can.
Oh yeah.
But I just couldn't. With everybody else live streaming, there was no reason for me to put up a pretty poor quality live stream. Plenty of people were seeing what was going on, and so I just
and I just do what I normally do. I got out there, I videoed, and then I posted the video later, that's my strong point. That's what I know how to do. So I stick to what I know, and I think that's the best thing. But the great thing about NAIR is that we have people that can do a little of everything, and that's what makes us strong. It's not that one person is talented and gifted. It's that we all, have our gifts, and we can apply them where needed.
Yeah, and we share the information. If I wanted, there's several people right now I could call up and say, help me learn how to do this, and they would either help me or point me in the right direction to where I could get the help. And that's one great thing about this community. Somebody's asking about Martha Border Patrol.
They're wanting the last video. Okay, so here's an opportunity. Here's an opportunity again. This is why we do this. Okay, so I haven't put out a video on that yet for a number of reasons, and I can talk about it here. But it's not talked about on my channel because I'm not doing this. All right, so here's what's going on, guys, on the Marfa Border Patrol detainment. The Department of Justice, Civil Rights Division, is looking into this. the Office of Inspector General for the Homeland Security, not the Border Patrol. I did not lodge a complaint with the Border Patrol. I went to Homeland Security, which is their parent organization, has launched an official investigation. What that lieutenant did after the fact was unlawful. There's a number of problems. And what the DOJ is involved in is something completely different. Okay, so you guys are going to love this. I get, after I hit these bad departments, I've always got these crooked cops in these departments coming on my channel and harassing me and saying stupid stuff and making threats, and it happens all the time. And I've just not really been able to do anything with it. Well, after the an event that's now well in the past, I won't talk about it, but there was an event that where they really came out of the woodwork on me, and I went to the DOJ about it because it was a federal agency that I had trouble with, and the attorneys there, here in the Houston office, basically said that they needed more notice and time, and I needed to gather more specific evidence. So I knew, knowing how the Border Patrol is and how they lack accountability, I knew they would come after me with that kind of stupid stuff this time. So I preempted it. I've held off on that video while they've been making their dumb comments, and basically what it is, it's called witness intimidation and harassment. All right? That's what's been going on, and that is the official investigation that has been launched by the Department of Justice. And that's why that video has not yet been posted. Additionally, my lawyer has done some editing on the video that I do have, and I'll be posting what he left. I cannot say whether I have additional video or not. At the request of the Office of Inspector General, they do not want to compromise the investigation by letting the agents involved know exactly what's out there and what isn't. And so that's been the holdup. But I will get that video up this week, along with this information for everybody else to have.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that you guys don't always see.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff, and there is so much stuff that I just like chomping the bits to tell everybody, but I can't, which sucks. Something else I want to touch on. We have several people here tonight that are new guys in our area here down near San Antonio. Sasquatch is one of the new guys. Hopefully I won't forget anybody. Texas Wolfman. They're both on the chat, but anyway, and there may be I don't see them all. Some of the guys have YouTube channels, and the ones that do, I am promoting in as we go along. I've already used up like I think enough of what happened. Texas Vet 1, yeah, him too. So I'll be promoting them as time goes on. I've already done 2, but I don't want to keep using the same videos from Saturday, going over the same things, because they were all together getting a lot of the same stuff, and the day after when we did some stuff. So I will be promoting them like I normally do, and the ones that have channels, I think a couple of them might be looking into putting one together. So I will catch up with y'all too, and I will be getting with y'all, and we'll be doing some audits. There's another new guy that hasn't been out there with us yet. Y'all met him when I was at the FedEx bombing, and I'm going to try to get with him shortly and get to know him a little better and go out on some audits, and I will let y'all know about him when we do that. I think we got like 7 guys down here now.
How come we don't have a News Now San Antonio? We got them everywhere else.
Well, a couple of them don't have channels yet, so maybe they will.
Okay.
Then you start selling franchises, make some money off of it.
Oh, man, yeah, there we go.
Now, anyhow, let's see if there's anything else that's going on in the chat here. I don't see anything. Let me see if bring up my notes over here and see if there was anything I didn't get
And
to.
I want to throw something out there real quick.
Yeah.
So a lot of people always, I've had people ask me, where did News Now come from? All right, so Ed Peruta has been a citizen journalist and a journalist for years and years and years, and he runs American News and Information Services out of Connecticut, and he's the one that came up with that. I did some field work for him at one point, and he's the one that came up with it for J.C. Playford, News Now San Diego. And so when I first started doing this, as doing audits and stuff, he's like, be News Now Houston, be News Now Texas. I actually wish I had done Texas now, but that's where that came from. Ed Peruta is American News Information Services. He does a morning show. Actually, I think he's had cancer and he's been sick here lately, so he hasn't been doing it. But he was doing a morning show that J.C. Playford, News Now San Diego, frequently publishes on his channel. So if you haven't seen that, go over there and take a look at it. But that's where it came from, Ed Peruta.
Well, something else I just saw in my notes. Like I said, I'm not big on going live all the time, but it's been requested a lot recently that I do a live show more often and showcasing auditors that have gotten, jacked up, some of the new auditors. And I'm thinking about it. I think once I get a little bit, that other monitor maybe and a couple other things, and I get things where I want them to where it looks the way I want it to and flows the way I want it to, I might look into that. But it won't be more than once a week if I do it. It's not going to be 2 or 3 times a week. I'm just not a big talker. I could never do a talk show because I'm convinced a lot of them just like to hear themselves talk. All these 3-hour shows and every day, and it's like, do you?
I personally, I'm like you. I don't see the purpose for that. I really don't.
And a lot of those that run 3 hours, they're saying the same thing over and over again throughout that 3 hours. They bring it up over and over, I guess, because they just don't have anything else to talk about, or they do it to bring the newer viewers up to speed on whatever the news is or whatever they're talking about. But I just can't do that. So if I do it, it'll be no more than once a week. But I am looking into it, and I think it might be a good idea to help showcase some of the auditors out there, the new ones, the problem areas, like the border. The border seems to be a big thing right now. I mean, it's just, I think.
Okay, and I'm getting a lot of grief from people because that I don't have an issue with the border checkpoints per se. Okay, my issue. The courts have said they can be there. Now, I can have an issue with it or not. It doesn't matter. The courts have said they can be there. My big issue is I can't stand when the government lies to us. And that's what the government's doing. They're saying this is all there about, it's all about the citizenship. It's a lie. It is all about drug interdiction. That's it. That's all it is. And tracking American citizens. Okay, because they photograph and run you through the database every time you pass that checkpoint. Doesn't matter whether you're going east or west. The cameras and license plate readers and all that stuff are there. It's a lie. You're going to do it. Tell the truth about it, and they just refuse to do that.
Yeah, they do, and that's where my problem comes in. Especially the internal border checks. I don't like them. I don't think they should be there. They shouldn't be able to stop anybody just because they feel like it. But they've gone way too far with it, and
I agree, and that's why they're getting attention from me, and they don't like attention.
Well, there's been a lot more attention. I think the first one I saw about the Border Patrol was that Reverend or religious guy.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Anderson, and then there was a guy in the little car. I can't remember his name. That got his windows broken and got extracted from the car. And that was just the Border Patrol being tyrants. Okay, they can do it and get away with it, they thought, and so they did it. Okay, but But what they're doing is they're attacking citizens who are doing nothing more than exercising their right to remain silent. And that's not constitutional, and it's not right.
And that's where the big point is right there. I mean, there's other bad things about it, but and we see it with other policemen in other areas. If you don't answer their questions, that's suspicious, and we're going to detain you because you won't kiss our butt. Dude, we don't have to kiss your butt. We have the right not to, and nobody's going to take that right away from us, not even you. I don't give a damn what you want.
Right, and that's what it is with the Border Patrol, okay? It's strictly ego. It's all about control, okay? If you refuse to answer their question, and it doesn't matter. If you just say yes, you can be on your way, okay? And all that is yeah, you're going to do what we say. Bullshit. Oh, sorry about the language. But, you know, I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that. Not because I have to. If I choose to do it, that's fine. But you're not going to tell me that I have to answer the questions of a government agent that is conducting an investigation. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, and they'll sit there and how many times you see them hand out that little pamphlet? It's just a little pamphlet, and it says what you're supposed to do and not do, and what they can do and not do. But it doesn't say it all. Basically, it tells you have to kiss their butt. But if you take their rules and regs and everything out, it says you don't have to talk. You don't have to answer their question. And by not answering their question, that is not. They can't detain you for that purpose only. They can, detain you for a short time, kind of look around a little bit, but they can't detain you to force you to talk. But they don't put that in that little pamphlet that they hand you.
No, but all they're doing is detaining you to screw with you. Mm-hmm. That's it. They just make you sit there. So what I do is I just get out with my video camera, and they don't like that. So they kick me loose pretty quick. But the whole thing is it's just about control. Now they've got signs up when you pull up there that quote the law. Okay, and what it says is if the agent suspects that you are not a citizen, he can question you. It doesn't say they can ask everybody the question. It says if they suspect.
Right.
So I asked them, I said, what makes you suspect that I am not a citizen? What cause do you have to believe that I am not a citizen? Because I'm about as white as you can get. For those of you who haven't seen me in shorts, I'm about as white as you can get.
Yeah, who can screw up the American language, the English language, as well as we can if we're not supposed to be here?
I speak better English than most of the guys working in the Border Patrol. I mean, English is probably a second language for a lot of them. And I'm not picking on them. That sounds racist, and it's not. Honestly, I believe we need the Border Patrol. I think they do a lot of good. And I've been out of the areas where these guys are working. And I can tell you that everything there is hostile towards them. Most of the locals, the scorpions, the spiders, the drug runners, everything there hates them. And they're doing a tough job. I have no objection to that. I support that. But damn it, do it right. Respect the rights of citizens. And I'll give you guys a tidbit of information that the average person doesn't know. The Border Patrol, as a law enforcement agency, saves more lives every year than every single law enforcement agency in the United States combined. I bet a lot of people didn't know that. They catch these illegals coming over the border. They're out in inhospitable areas. They don't have food. They don't have water. They don't have protection from the environment. And the Border Patrol comes in and basically rescues a lot of them. A lot of people don't realize that. And I have a lot of respect for the guys in the Border Patrol that are doing it right. I have nothing but disdain for the crooked, ego-driven monsters that are there. And I have nothing but disdain for the fact that the lack of accountability within that agency is so rampant.
Hey, Johnny, I meant to bring it in out of the car, out of the truck. I couldn't find it for a couple of days, and I found it in the truck after Saturday. I kind of lost it in there, and I meant to bring it back in, but I didn't a while ago. Years ago, high school time, and for about 10 years or so afterwards, me and my buddy, some of y'all met here in a Zoom meeting that he was sitting here with me, my best buddy. We grew up together, and we had the run of several thousand acres out in West Texas, which is really close to the border. And we met a lot of Border Patrol out there. They're the guys that are running around out in the cars, finding those people that are in trouble, finding the drug smugglers, the coyotes, and all that. And those guys had a pretty good attitude. I didn't find any of them that I ever made me mad or I was upset about the way they handled things. When they did come talk to us, they didn't ask us any stupid questions. They never even asked if we belonged there. I think they could tell. You know, yeah, we're running around. We speak English. You know, I mean, we screw up English just like anybody that lives here for their whole life does. So they never gave us any problems. So you know, those guys did a great job. But these guys at the inland checkpoints, they're just ego-driven little so-and-sos trying to behave
and it
myself with
starts
the language.
at the top, like I always say.
Yeah.
The attitude at the top is what you get from the guys at the bottom. The only reason the guys at the bottom act the way they do is because the guys at the top let them. That lieutenant that yanked me out of the car and planted that stuff on me and stuff, he did that because he thinks he can get away with it. Well, he's got a surprise coming. He's got a big surprise coming because I've called enough attention to this, and more is coming, that he will not be able to renew his security clearance. That's something else a lot of people don't know. These Border Patrol agents have to do a yearly background check and polygraph to maintain their security clearance. And this guy has lied on official documents, and he's going to be queried about that when he does his next polygraph. He cannot pass his polygraph. And that means his security clearance gone. That means he's gone.
I hope so. That'd be another one bites the dust for the Nair guys.
Well, I can tell you that the Office of Inspector General, I actually spoke to an agent from the OIG, and I don't want to say they're gunning for this guy, but they are not happy with what occurred down there at all. And the Border Patrol, there are people in the Border Patrol that are trying to clean it up, and some of those guys have reached out to me and spoken to me, and they're not happy about what occurred either. So there's going to be some action taken on this. What it'll be, when it'll come, I cannot say, but it's coming.
Well, it's a good one to keep pressure on for the people that are in the auditor group and so on. If you live in those areas, it's and you want something to do, that keep the pressure on them.
Well, that Marfa checkpoint has a long history of abusing people. There was a school teacher, and you can Google this. There was a school teacher that had to go through there on a regular basis who was paralyzed, and she carried medication with her, and every time she would go through there, they knew who she was. They would stop her, drag her out of the vehicle. Okay, she uses a walker in order to stand, and so when they drag her out, she's basically laying on the ground. Would search her vehicle, and every time they come up with the same thing: her prescription medications. It got so bad she had to file a lawsuit to get them to stop. Now, what the hell is that all about? Why are we? She's a school teacher. Why are we treating citizens like this? You know who they are. You know what's up. It's just that Border Patrol, that they're in an area. Marfa is in an area that doesn't have a lot of contact, and so they're bored. They're sitting around with nothing to do, and so this checkpoint is an opportunity for them to be jerks, and they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, well, Marfa wasn't too far away from where our that ranch was I was talking about, but the only checkpoint we had to go through was closer to San Antonio side. So they never gave us any trouble, but we never pushed anything either. We just always, it wasn't something we were doing back then. I was more interested in chasing women, partying, going hunting and fishing,
Yeah.
That's what I was interested. And that was before my little episode with the New Braunfels police did jack me up. That's when I really got interested. But to a certain degree, I started in high school. But anyway, that's a different story. God, I got off track. There was something else I wanted to say, and I don't remember what it was now. But anyhow, let's see what's going on. If there's anything in the chat.
Yeah, I'm coming through Seabrook right now, and we know what a corrupt department that is. I actually talked with a guy that is a retired police officer that works here locally, and we were having a conversation about Seabrook PD, and the general consensus amongst most reputable law enforcement agencies is that it's a trash department. That they've run off all the good officers. All the officers that I knew that were there 5 years ago are all gone now because the chief that's in there is a scumbag. And so whenever I ride through here, I always look to give them some attention.
There was somebody just commented on hating live streams, but he likes this one. And I understand that, Ian. Yeah, I understand that. And when I do a live stream, I try to make sure there's information.
Not just chatter.
Not just chatter. Getting to know and understand some of the auditors. You know who they are, why they do what they do. Getting information out there. Talking about relevant subjects for the most part, of course. I have been known to get sidetracked from time to time.
Well, everybody knows I spend all my time in my mom's basement, so this is my only opportunity to get out.
Yeah. She kicks you out of the house every once in a while, gets tired of you? Well, one of these days, though, the police departments around this country are going to get smart, and when they see you out there, they're going to send their best-looking woman out there, and you'll just fall apart and give them everything.
No, I got a girlfriend. I got to behave. I got one, so I'm behaving.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you won't give in to giving them their information, I've been trying to say something like that for a while, but every time I tried the last couple of weeks, it was like somebody else jumped in, and I just said, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to say it, but damn it, I'm going to say it anyway, and I just did.
Yeah, everybody thinks I'm womanizing scum,
Well, you're not married, and then you have a girlfriend, and sometimes we change girlfriends. That's the way it goes. We just lost David. So we'll see if he comes back. He's coming back. He called back in. All right, he is muted. Let's let him his signal. All right, he's still. Now he's sideways. How do you drive in sideways? All right, you're unmuted, and I don't know how you're driving.
Oh, my driving side. Oh, crap. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix that.
That's going to be hard to do. I mean, you're a talented man driving on two wheels.
There.
Or driving on a door. Let's see.
I should be straight now.
No, you're not. That's okay. We've already gone longer than what we talked about. We said we're going to run about 20 minutes unless there's something. There, you're back. Unless there's something, really fun or interesting going on. Let me look through a couple of the chat here a little bit.
Okay.
Upstate New York auditor says getting ready for his first live stream. Wish me good luck. Johnny says I'd watch weekly, and I'll look into that. There's some, I haven't bothered to look into how to add a phone call in a quality way where you get good audio. I'm gonna look into that. I noticed.
Just need a couple of tin cans with a string.
I noticed Black Label was doing it, but the other night he seemed to be having trouble with that. So if I can get that done where it's the audio's good and I can count on it, then I might do that and just let people call in as well. But we'll see. I really like to have them on like we're doing now, where you could see them talking. I think it just comes across better when you can, But even then, they don't have to have their video up if they don't want it. But we'll see. It's a work in progress. We'll see where that goes. Black Label is in the house. I thought I saw him a while ago. Yeah, okay. I'll talk to you later about that. I was going to talk to you about a couple things anyway, Black Label. So maybe we'll get together here soon. And Chief Jones is in the house. He was with us Saturday.
Yeah, I had a good time talking to Chief.
Yeah, my wife enjoyed talking to him, and I didn't get a chance to talk to him because she was busy talking to him. So I visited with everybody else. Everybody's, you know, there's only a few. I don't think every one of y'all uh, in there even knew who my wife was till that day. So a few of y'all
Well, I
did.
mean, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
I
few of
did.
y'all did, but
Yeah.
not everybody. Not everybody got a chance to meet her. And she got my back, guys. She really does. She doesn't hasn't been going out with me, and I've said this before because I'm afraid that if one of those cops puts their hands on me, she'll tear into them.
Dude, she will light them fools up. We'll be having to post her bond to get her out of jail. And you guys think I talk too much? Oh no! Wait till Sandy gets hold of one of them cops that's acting stupid. She will not stop.
And she wouldn't care if they're 8 foot tall and 400 pounds. She'll be in their face.
She would chew up one side of that ass and back down the other side.
Yeah.
Yep.
He'd end up short and slim after that. All right, let's see here. I think. Let's see. Steve is. Oh, they're talking about my fish. Yes, I do have fish. I have 16 tanks running. I have fish and shrimp, different colored shrimp, red ones, yellow ones, blue ones. But
let's deep fry them. Let's deep fry them.
Oh well, dude, they're only. I mean, they're so small. You're not going to bother with that.
Oh. Hey, are you going to go to that event in Dallas May the 5th, the open carry event?
I don't know yet. I might. I went through my finances and I have the money. I'm just not sure. This is the time of year I have a lot of family stuff going on. It seems like everybody got birthdays and all that going on this time of year. So I'm not sure. And I don't spend enough time with my family. So if there's something going on there, I'll either see if I can rearrange it. If not, then I'll be here. But we'll see.
Well, if I can arrange a bodyguard, you know, a lot of guys, you guys are going to laugh at me for saying this, you know, but when I go to events like that where I'm out in the open and I've got all kinds of people I don't know around me, I have a second person that watches my back to make sure somebody doesn't walk up behind me and shoot me in the head or something stupid. I know it sounds silly, but for those of you that don't know, I've been shot at twice in the last year. So it's very serious, and I take those threats very seriously. But yeah, that'll probably be the last major event that I go to because my grandkids will be out of school for the summer at the end of May, and that ties me down. I don't travel much in the summer because I help take care of the grandkids and do things with them.
Well, my guys, I asked them to keep an eye on you, but you went off on your own, and they lost track of you until we started walking.
Once I got out of the crowd, as long as I'm not in the crowd, I'm okay. He was there with me while I was in the crowd, but no, Almost Park has specifically said that they were going to target me, so I went out and gave them the chance. I went into the community and walked the streets by myself, and you know, gave them the opportunity to come and get me. But you know, that police department had packed up and left town. That was a first. We've never seen anything like that ever before.
Well, it made me feel good when my buddy called and said he's bringing the crew down because he couldn't let me be in that crowd doing what I was doing alone. Yep. Even though we had plenty of people there, he just couldn't let it go. So, and these guys are from my past days in working with other organizations. You know, I used to do a lot of politics and prepper, you know, so we did prepping stuff. And we also did a lot of political stuff, and I got to know a few people. So anyway, it surprised me that they came all that way, but it felt good to know that I had people that believe in me and support me that strongly.
You know, I was humbled by the number of people that knew me at that rally. I was just blown away, and you know, it shows. I guess I've just never understood how much reach we have, and man, I'm just blown away by the support we got in the community, and again, all the people that were there that knew who I was. I mean, I think I'm kind of obscure and not well known. And so when I walk through Walmart and somebody recognizes me here locally, I'm just like, wow, it gives me a very a boost. It gives me an emotional boost, and man, I think it's great that so many people watch and appreciate what we do, and the ones that don't, well, don't watch.
Yeah.
If you don't like what we do, don't watch.
Yeah, nobody's making you do anything.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right,
I know how that felt. It felt good, and I was surprised. But and we've always had different kind of rallies like that. There's been plenty of things, plenty of people, warning it. These people are going to show up. Those people are going to show up. You're in danger and all that. And I knew that was a possibility in all of those, and nothing ever occurred. And I really didn't think anything was going to occur to this. But with that police department acting the way they did, and some of the information we were getting about who might be there and what might happen, I was a little concerned this time. I was never really concerned before. This one I was worried about. So it did make me feel good that we had people actually watching out for us personally, and not just as a group.
Yeah, I don't worry about somebody coming up to me face to face, because the cowards won't do that. They won't do it. They're going to come up from behind me and stab me in the back or whatever. That's what I worry about. So it was good to have people there that were
all right,
that were wanting to load off my mind.
Well, you're kind of coming in and out, so I think maybe you might be getting in an area where the signal's not real good, and we've been on even longer than what we talked about doing. So I think now might be a good time to wrap this up, and we can always do it again, whenever we're ready.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, you're lagging real bad there. So let's go ahead and end this before it goes south completely. And I thank you for being on. I'll be seeing you and working with you again soon. And let's see here. Everybody, we had 244 watching. Thanks for stopping by. And we'll see you, David. I'm not going to try to mention everybody here. There's too many in the chat. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, moderators. I'll probably be adding a couple more moderators for the future. And we'll be back soon, I guess. Talk to y'all later.